After a couple of years, here it is, debunked with crude math number 4. What it is about. One of the most insane beliefs going on in the world of conspiracies is that there were once giants roaming the earth. Their evidence states, rock formations like Devil's Tower in northeastern Wyoming are actually petrified tree stumps. If I would categorize this kind of nonsense, I would say, it is closely related to these dunderheads who see historical mud floods everywhere, not realizing the house has been built on a natural slope and the foundations are just dug in to get a level base to build on. I wouldn't be surprised if they, for some dark reason, blame NASA for hiding this from the public. If a horse shits on the road, NASA. That kind of stuff. Okay, back to petrified tree stump goofballs. Sometimes there are rock formations that with some imagination look like a tree stump. Like I already mentioned, Devil's Tower. This is still only one of the rock formations these dingleberries claim to be ancient tree stumps. We actually know how the formations like you find in Colorado and Arizona were formed. What you see here was once like this, when the Rocky Mountains were the western coast of the Pangean continent, when the Pacific was the Panthalasic Ocean. This was about a couple of 100 million years ago, in the early Triassic period, around the time that the continent of Africa broke away from what now is known as South America. Because of this, and tectonic plate movement, the water receded, and all these small rocky islands like here at the coast of Thailand became the desert rock formations on the North American continent. Millions of years of eroding sculpted them into what now is Monument Valley in Arizona. This already debunks the claim of these petrified tree stump dingbats, but they are like flat earthers. They just don't want to hear anything about it when it does not confirm their narrative. To them, these are all the remains of giant trees cut down by a race of giants. Now we are at the point where I use the crudest math possible to prove why these tree stump dingalings are delusional. For me, it started when I saw this post on Twitter, which I refuse to call X, because X is a Dumbo moronic name. This picture is most likely created by an AI. Just like their flurf counterparts, some tree stump twat waffle made this up as evidence. Okay, let's do this. If that was a tree, it would have been 5 times as high as the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. It must have been giant lumberjacks of 900 meter tall, that is 2,700 feet in a Humpty Dumpty scale, to cut this tree down. Because the cut is nice and flat, they must have used a chainsaw as big as the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier. The impact of this falling mass most likely have caused a local Category 5 earthquake when breaking the Earth's upper crust. After being cut down to manageable pieces, it would need a truck with the size of 6 football stadiums driven by this 900-meter-tall giants to haul it away. This truck would leave tracks of 30 meters deep, 90 feet in the Tooth Fairy scale. Of course, nothing like this is ever found. A tree this tall would be like 10 times the height of the Freedom Tower and 4 times as wide. One Freedom Tower, without the foundation, weighs approximately 2.3 million metric tons. So the tree alone would weigh 4 times 10 Freedom Towers, which roughly equals 92 million metric tons. In the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer scale, it is 202,928,400,000 pounds. And that is without taking the mass of the roots in consideration. This absurd weight alone on such a limited footprint would probably break the Earth's crust, make the tree sink into the magma and create a nice wood fire. I now have some questions to the petrified tree stump dipsticks. Question 1. Where are the remains of the 900-meter-tall giants? There must be some fossils. Question 2. Where are the traces of the indent the tree trunks must have made impacting next to the stump? Question 3. Do you finally understand why the majority of humanity thinks you are a bunch of pea-brained galoots? Final question. Can you please find some sort of mental help? What I really cannot understand, what I just explained is so simple. How can these idiots not come to the same conclusion? Anyhow, this was all for today. Please, help me to get out of this YouTube limbo. You can simply do this by hitting the like button and subscribe to my channel.